It is week 5 of the Wolfey Draft League Season 2, and your Jubilife Piplups are taking on Aaron Cybertron Zheng alongside his Melbourne Rotoms. Aaron is, of course, a phenomenal player and caster and has pretty much terrorized the ladder with a Sableye Archalon core, and he's decided to bring that into the VGC Draft League scene. So this is going to be a pretty terrifying team to go against. Let's break down the matchup, then get into the team, and then finally, let's play those games. So this is the week 5 matchup, and I do want to say the graphic is a little bit incorrect because Aaron did make some trades throughout the season. Mega Venusaur, Bellybolt, and Simipour are dropped from Aaron's side, and replacing it will be the Megalopony plus Beartic and Altaria, which actually do make some impacts in this matchup. So let's go over his team. We have Politoed, of course, with the Rain mode. Could have a lot of different sets. We've seen him use offensive Politoed, Perish Song to clean up endgames. Definitely something I'm going to have to keep in mind while playing against it. We do have the Archalon, which of course super big threatening Mon and Rain, especially with that Electric Shot. And I am expecting Aaron to bring it, and I am thinking that it could probably be the Sturdy or the Stalwart set. And the Stalwart does allow him to bypass my redirection from Vivian, so I am expecting either that option for dealing with like Blastoise Vivian combination, potentially a Lumberry on that Archalon could definitely be a play. I could also see Choice Scarf on the Archalon as well, in order to just like outspeed a lot of my threats and just fire off a really powerful Electric Shot. Could be something I really have to keep in mind because that could like Oko no bulk Mega Lucario. So something I do want to play around and definitely something I have to consider. We also have the Sinistra. Sinistra, of course, Hospitality is such a great ability, but it could be a lot of different sets. I could see it being Hospitality as well. I've seen Aaron use Calm Mind here as well with the Sinistra, and I think Calm Mind Trick Room would be a really strong Sinistra set against my team, so something I'm going to be keeping in mind throughout the entire set. I think Sableye, not as threatening as I usually have to think about. Maybe screens to help maybe survive attacks, but I do think that Sableye does have to fear my Aromatisse as well as Serena, ways to be able to block and prevent the Sableye from really going for what it really enjoys going for, which are the prankster shenanigans against my team. And then Weavile, Fastmon, I do have a few Pokemon that can be faster and play around it, so I don't think it's as threatening, but I do have to worry about like the offensive coverage it does have access to, because my ice coverage is just not exactly great dealing with the ice coverage. I don't have a lot of great switch-ins to ice coverage in general. And that's also why the Beartic is a problem, because it does have access to Swift Swim, has access to close combat, could threaten the KO on Mega Lucario, so something I'm going to have to keep in mind. And then the Megalopony is going to be a fast threat I do have to very much respect, so something I'm going to have to really pay attention to. Fake Out Encore going to be super disruptive, close combat's going to be super hard to deal with. You could even run Triple Axle or a few other tech moves, especially with that Megalopony, so something I'm going to have to keep in mind. And then Toxicroak could be a little bit of a surprise mon, which I could actually see Aaron bring, just because it is good into my Mega Lucario, and Dry Skin means it's pretty good into a lot of the attacks that the Mega Blastoise generally run, because it doesn't have the best ways of breaking through it initially. So that's kind of my thought against Aaron's team, and let us go over what I decide to bring as my 6 for the Melbourne Rotoms. So this is my team that I am bringing against Aaron, and I think I have some pretty good tools here. So the idea with this entire build, just protect the Mega Lucario. Mega Lucario, as we saw, just does so much damage against a lot of Aaron's team, especially like the Archalon, the Megalopony, and so much more, like the Weavile that can just like bypass with Vacuum Wave, which is a pretty big one, because I think Vacuum Wave Mega Lucario is definitely a super strong mon into Aaron's team. That priority is just going to be super powerful, and once I get a helping hand boost with the Mega Lucario, just absolutely demolishes pretty much anything. If he brings Bulky Archalon, super big mistake, and Vacuum Wave will be able to play around some Choice Scarf ones too. So we're going to be going with this Mega Lucario set that is EV to survive a Electric Shot from Archalon, which is actually pretty important in the Scarf position. It also outspeeds modest Archalon max speed, so something to keep in mind while having a good amount of special attack investment. And I'm pairing this Mega Lucario with a bunch of support Pokemon. The Vivian here, Focus Sash, I think is just a pretty consistent item across the board. Compound Ice, Sleep Powder is super threatening into Aaron's team. And then I also have access to Hurricane, which that flying coverage really good into Megalopony, as well as that Sinistra especially, which are probably the Pokemon that Mega Lucario don't exactly like dealing with the most. So that's why we are bringing the Vivian pair here. Rage Powder for redirection, also to help support the Mega Lucario. Again, just keeping the Mega Lucario safe. And again, multiple different ways to be able to help enable the Mega Lucario we also have access to the Espathra. That Lumina Crash is going to be super valuable. And you might be seeing the EV spreads on the Vivian plus the Espathra. My Espathra is designed to be able to outspeed the Vivian by 1 point, and my Vivian is able to outspeed a timid max speed Archaludon by 1 point. So that's kind of the idea. I can go for Lumina Crash plus Hurricane as a play with this really weird offensive combination if I have these Pokemon next to each other on the board without having to rely on the speed boost. And I do have access to like Pounce plus Sleep Powder, which is super threatening, but really that Pounce is able to help enable the Mega Lucario to outspeed, like, again, random Choice Scarf Mons, Mega Lopunny, and more, and then Pounce plus an attack from Mega Lucario, super threatening. I am running Trick Room on this Espathra just because of the fact that, again, I could be worried a little bit about Sinistra, so I am going to be going for the Trick Room just to counteract opposing Trick Room, which can be valuable. And then we also have the Twisted Spoon just to be able to allow me to pretty much get a KO on the Mega Lopunny with the Lumina Crash, because if he runs no bulk, it's a roll. And then if he does run a bit of bulk, because he doesn't need max speed, I am going to be running just a bit of extra power with that Twisted Spoon to ensure that knockout. This Serena, very funny set, Bright Powder. And you might be thinking, are you serious, James? But the reason is, Serena can pretty much live like Crash and some other attacks, but Triple Axle is just a move that like you cannot allow Serena to calc for. Like Yachi doesn't save it, Citrus doesn't save it, so pretty much it can't survive Triple Axle if they land all 3 attacks. But the thing is, they have to land all 3 of them, so I think the best odds to allow me to survive a potential Triple Axle from the Mega Lopunny as well as the potential of the Weavile is going to be through the Bright Powder. So that's going to be the play here. And we're going to be running Power Whip because we want that power into the Politoed, Triple Axle as the ice move to be able to hit Sinistra, Taunt to prevent any Rage Powders because I am, again, wanting to make sure that no Rage Powder or Trick Room comes out from Sinistra, and then Helping Hand to support the Mega Lucario, especially that Vacuum Wave to ensure the knockdown to like Mega Lopunny, as well as like a few other scenarios that it can keep in mind. So that's the idea behind the Serena. Dragapult going to be running no item here, and we're running Acrobatics. And the reason is, I was debating about going special, but Acrobatics has a chance to KO no bulk Mega Lopunny. It's actually a pretty decent chance, so I thought that was going to be pretty cool. The Helping Hand Acrobatics can be also really nice, and I do expect maybe Aaron to run some Spadef on Sinistra, and then just because of that, I could see like maybe the Ghost Berry as well. I think he's not going to have the Flying Berry, the Cobra Berry as likely, and Acrobatics plus Hurricane could get knockouts plus the double up, so I think it is probably pretty worth it. Pounce again to help enable the Mega Lucario speed control. Dragon Tail, and again, just trying to deny Trick Room as much as possible here, basically. And then Psychic Fangs, just in case Screens Sableye comes out, which is going to be the big one, because I want to make sure that I'm able to actually take knockouts against Aaron's team. So, could be a risky set here, but we'll see. I'm going with Max Attack to give myself the best chance to do as much damage as possible with the Acrobatics. The speed allows me to be able to outspeed Mega Lopunny, and then the defense actually can matter for being able to live like close combat as well. And no item is actually pretty funny because Infiltrator does hit through screens, and I also have like the defense to live like close combat from Mega Lopunny, which is funny, and no item can actually matter for like knockoff situations, so might be a funny Dragapult set that comes into play. Last mon, we're going to go with Hisuian Samurott because it is good into Sinistra, which is a pretty big one. We're running Ceaseless Edge to be able to help out against Sinistra, get the spikes up, which could be important for Sturdy or Focus Ashes on Aaron's team. Sacred Sword's really good coverage in general because fighting is just really good. And we're running Aqua Jet, Hisuian Samurott because against Beartic, I'm probably going to actually need the Samurott plus Lucario mode because Aqua Jet plus Vacuum Wave can actually knock out the Beartic in rain before it can move with a Swiss Swim attack. So that's kind of the idea. Like Aqua Jet plus Vacuum Wave can actually get a lot of surprise knockouts against a lot of the frailer mons, like the Mega Lopunny as well. So that's kind of the idea behind the Aqua Jet in case I do need to bring the Hisuian Samurott, and I do need the access to the Aqua Jet plus the Vacuum Wave for the double priority to take knockouts, which could be actually nice depending on the game that Aaron decides to go with. So this is going to be the 6th time bringing against Aaron. Let's see how it goes. Alright, Sableye, Lopunny, Toxicroak, Sinistra, Politoed, Archaludon. Okay, so he did actually bring the Toxicroak. So that's like the only mon I wasn't fully wearing the cards. Let's see, what did he replace? Weavile, right? Yeah, he didn't bring Weavile. Okay, that makes sense to me. Let's see. So he brought Toxicroak. I'm curious on the set, but I have pretty good tools in the Toxicroak, so I'm not like too worried about it. Okay. What's my game plan gonna be here? Serena's looking pretty good. Lucar's looking pretty good. No bear tick, so I don't have to really worry about us too much. I'm thinking Vivian is gonna be good here. Dragapult's pretty solid. I might actually lead Dragapult plus Lucario. It seems pretty good against my opponent. I feel like that's a pretty okay lead for the most part. I'm going to do Dragapult Lucario with Serena, Vivian, and Beck. I think it should be fine for game one. I'm not bringing my Spaffer, which could be a bit scary, but I think generally this should be an okay combination. I was really just going to debate out how to lead play depending on like what he brought, because I wasn't sure if there's a bear tick combination. So let's see. Sableye or Chalon. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind that. I lead Dragapult plus Lucario. I should be okay here. If this is Scarf Archaudon, if this is Sturdy Archaudon, I feel pretty okay against it. I'm actually just going to go for the Psychic Fangs immediately, and I'm going to go for an Aura Spear attempt into the Archaudon. Only way this goes bad is if Archaudon protects, but let's see what they do here. Okay. So I get to see like some moves on this Sableye, which is pretty important. Okay, they did protect, unfortunate for me. Okay, so they do have protect. Ooh, they have an attacking move here. Okay. Foul play? Okay. Not a great start. Not a great start, but I guess this is okay. Yeah, that's not a great start, although this is still very, very playable. I'm okay with that. Vivian should come in here, I think, right? Which I think he has on... I think Vivian is definitely the best play here. Because I can Sleep Powder, which is pretty big, into our Chaladon. I think I'm just going to throw out the Sleep Powder and I'm going to go for the Aura Spear. Although they could go out in a Sinistra. But if they go Sinistra, then I can go Hurricane and Serena. So I guess that's not too bad. Yeah, I think that's okay. Safeguard. Okay. I actually didn't remember that Sableye got access to Safeguard. So that's good to know. Okay, it is timid on that. Okay. That's fine. So timid arch. So this should be sturdy then. White herb. Okay, good to know. Yep. I'm not surprised on sturdy. It was either going to be sturdy or it was going to be the stalwart in my opinion. Okay, I have vacuum wave, so I can go for vacuum wave. I think I just go out as Serena here. I think Serena's pretty okay. And probably just throwing off a flash cannon into the Sableye should be okay. Or do I vacuum wave? I think I prefer flash cannon because our challenge shouldn't be able to knock out unless they double up the Vivian specifically. And then I could vacuum wave and power whip. And that should give me a double knockout. So I think that's probably better for me. There's also the chance that our Chaladon protects here, so I'm okay with this. Yeah. So it does have Draco Meter as expected. It probably has Electric Shot. I'm guessing it got rid of Aura Spear. Okay, they Flash Cannon, which is fine. Although Foul Play is going to hurt. Spit Death Drop's not great, but that's alright. That's good damage to the Sableye. Foul Play. Bright Powder, baby. Okay, okay, okay. That's actually very helpful. That's very helpful. Because I can Vacuum Wave the Archaudon now and go for a Power Whip. Okay, we take that. I don't know if Foul Play would have KO'd, but you know what? We'll take it. Okay. That's why we have Bright Powder, baby. But it's mainly for Triple Axle from Weavile in case that was brought, and Icicle Crash from Bear Tick. That's the main reason why I brought the Bright Powder. So paying off against the Sableye double up. Oh, they go for Helping Hand? Perfect. Perfect. I should get a double knockout here, which is really good for me. Vacuum Wave. Goodbye Arch. Interesting Sableye set. So it's Foul Play, Helping Hand. I should also calc if it's physical or special. It does look like it's probably has special defense, but not too much. It looks more physical defense to me. Yeah, it looks more physical defense to me. Okay. Politoed and Lopunny. I feel good about this. Helping Hand Vacuum Wave Oko's Lopunny if he doesn't have like an incredible amount of bulk. So I think that's my play always. I either do that or I Power Whip, but I don't think that's worth it. Yeah, I think I go for Helping Hand Vacuum Wave. If this is Scarf Politoed, I could still lose though, so... Not out of the woods yet. Okay, close one, but manageable. I wonder if the Lopunny even has Protect, because a lot of them probably drop Protect, but of course this is Draft. Okay, Mega Evolve. Let's see. Helping Hand. Nice. And I do KO Lopunny. Beautiful. Okay. What's the Politoed set? And what does it lock into? Ice Beam. Okay, that's fine. So if this is Scarf... Oh, okay. That Ice Beam didn't do that much. What was that? Ice Beam from Politoed. I was -1 Spadef too, but I did go very specially defensive on this. 109. Okay, he's definitely not max special attack, so it's probably bulky. So I should win this first game, which is huge. I can go for Power Whip into Politoed, and I'm going to go for Aura Spear, because I want to see how much Spadef the Politoed has. Okay, Aura Spear. It's 60. So that's looking like it has speed probably. I do KO with Serena. Okay, perfect. I'm faster with Serena actually, so it doesn't have that much speed. No, it has no speed actually, because my Serena doesn't have any investment. Okay. Good game one. The start wasn't great, but you know what? We take it. I think I would have still been fine because it wasn't fast Politoed, but of course it depends on item and the rest, but Helping Hand was super clutch there. Beautiful. Okay. Because as long as Serena lived the foul play, which I think it probably does from the Sableye, I should have been good here. Yeah, I do live foul play from the Serena. No, I do live foul play from Serena. Unless it's Black Glasses, I guess, Sableye, but it would be a high road to KO me. So game plan worked for game one. I don't know if it's going to work for game two, but we'll see how it goes. But at least I know I'm not sacrificing my Dragapult the next time. I'm surprised no Sinistra was brought, because I thought Sinistra would have been really good there. So that's actually a very interesting not bring here. So I'm curious if we're going to see it in this game. Dealing with this Sableye is still not really that great for me, but it's manageable. We know it's not Stalwart on the Archaudon, so I do think I bring Vivian this time, because I think Vivian has a pretty good time into this. Maybe Vivian plus Lucario lead this time around. Did I bring Dragapult back, or did I bring a Spafford back? I think I bring... Both are good. I would like to get rid of Sableye if possible. It's not like the biggest threat, but like it is a kind of annoying Pokemon. I think it's Vivian Lucario. The question is, who am I having to back? Serena's good here. I could go with Dragapult plus a Spaffra. I'm thinking Dragapult Spafford. I kind of want speed here for the back, but let's see. Because obviously having the Queenly Majesty is still really good on the team to avoid like Encore shenanigans, because we don't know what the final move on Sableye is. We saw Foul Play, Safeguard, and Helping Hand. Lopunny Sinistra. This is kind of like a lead I expected. I was expecting it in the game one, but this works out pretty well for me. Okay, Lucario plus the Vivian. I could go for Aura Spear. I could go for Protect Hurricane. I got like a lot of options. Man, I kind of wish I led the Serena Dragapult combination. I could Rage Powder plus Aura Spear, not Mega Evolve. That's also fine. I don't think it's very likely Rage Powder's here. I'm gonna go for Rage Powder plus Aura Spear in regular form. Okay, Mega on the Lop. I actually don't even know if I KO Lopunny in regular form. Okay, we do get the Rage Powder off. What did they go for? Triple Axle or Close Combat? They didn't fake out. Triple Axle. I'm sorry, Aaron, but that's super unfortunate. Okay, I do get an Aura Spear off. And I KO Lopunny. Super unfortunate, but yeah, I don't know what to say. All right, goodbye. Calm Mind. Okay, so he's Calm Mind Sinistcha. Which means I'm glad with what I brought in the back, but this is still kind of scary. Yeah. So he's Calm Mind. Toxicroak. Okay. I don't have a Serena that I can switch into. I do have a Dragapult that can switch in, which is pretty comfortable, I suppose. How much do I need Lucario? I don't think it's our Archalon back at this point. It's not gonna Machagacha. He would Shadow Ball. I just don't know which slot. I think probably the Pult. I'm gonna go for Flash Cannon. I don't really need Lucario anymore. I kind of just need to KO the things around Sinistcha, I think. Hurricane should still do a lot of damage, just at +1. Okay. So I'll say Vivian, just in case. Here comes Dragapult. Should be fine here. Let's see if he's max speed. Jolly outspeeds me. Okay, they go for Protect. So is this Protect Shadow Ball, Machagacha, or is this Trick Room? Trick Room's a bit annoying. I wish I went to Spafford if that's the case, but I guess it's still fine. Oh, they went for Calm Mind again. Okay. How much am I doing with Acro to this Mon? I'm doing a good chunk. I'm not too scared of Sinistcha because I do have Lumina Crash, but it kind of depends on the last. I could Vacuum Wave Acro the Toxicroak. I'm thinking Psychic Fangs here into Toxicroak plus Vacuum Wave isn't too bad. I'm going to go for it. It covers Sash Toxicroak because I don't know where the Sash is on the team. It might be Toxicroak. Okay, good play on Aaron's part. He switches into Politoed. Okay, makes sense. As I do get a Vacuum Wave off into Politoed for good damage. Here comes a Psychic Fangs 2. Gets a crit, unfortunate. Citrus, good to know. Shadow Ball, okay. That's fine. Oops, I did that on the wrong slot. Shoot, wait, what did I get rid of? Oh, I got rid of Sinistcha. So there's Shadow Ball. I think I just go out in a Spafford, but I'm not mistaken. A Spafford click Lumina Crash seems really good here. Aura Spear did 60 last time, and the Politoed doesn't... I think the Politoed's pretty physically defensive. That's my guess. So if that's the case, Aura Spear should KO the Politoed here. And then Lumina Crash into Sinistcha will put in range of Hurricane. So I think that's what I go for. They probably just Shadow Ball, or they can Machagacha, I guess, but Machagacha doesn't KO a Spafford, so I'm okay with that. The Toxicroak set is going to be really scary. It depends on if it's max speed or not. But I think this is my best play. Okay. Lumina Crash. Oh, I crit him too. RG's not on his side, man, but I feel him in this league, honestly. Aura Spear. KO's to Politoed down. Okay, how much do I do to Lucario because I crit him? Do I KO him with Flash Cannon now? I do. I guarantee KO him with Flash Cannon. So all I have to do is Sleep Powder to Toxicroak, Flash Cannon the slot, and I win. Leftovers, unless he has to be max Bedef. He has to be max Bedef on the Sinistra to live. And that's like 47% is my min roll. So I'm always going for it. So we Sleep Powder, the Toxicroak, and we go for Flash Cannon here. That's so unfortunate for Aaron, but I mean, this is the luck I do need in the draft league to make the comeback. Unfortunate. Good play on the protect part, but I do go for the Sleep Powder here. Okay, he does dodge, which is fair. Does he KO? 3% Sleep Powder miss, but I mean, I've gotten lucky in this, so I can't complain. If he's Sash, he's Sash, but it's kind of it's a read here if it isn't, because if it isn't Sash, Hurricane KO's a Croak. I think I Hurricane the Croak because I think it's a decent chance I lose the game anyway, so I might as well get the information. Also, if I KO the Croak and it doesn't have a priority move, I do win here. So, kind of a call. It is a call. Because if he's not Sash and it's not Koba, I just KO with Hurricane. So it kind of depends on like what the Croak has. We know it's Protect. We know it's Close Combat. Let's see. Okay, are you Sash? If you're Sash, I need a self-hit. Yeah, it is Sash. Okay, good to know. Don't get confused, so that would be game. Okay, Dro Chop, so no Sucker. Okay. So we got good information in this game, so I don't mind this one with how it played out. Because we did get lucky at the start of the game, but yeah, I think that's fine. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to confirm if he was Adamant or Jolly. That's the only thing I wasn't able to confirm on the Croak, which would have been really nice to know. But we pretty much know a lot about his sets now, which is good. We need to overwrite the Croak. Okay. It's a close one. I'm kind of curious on how this third game will play out. I did reveal the Psychic Fangs, but I never revealed the Acrobatics on my Pult. Do I go down to one Shadow Ball from Cine? I imagine not. Needs to be modest at the very least. Okay. I wonder if he does a similar game plan or if he does something different. I'm not sure if the Sinistra has Rage Powder. We know it's Protect. No, it probably isn't actually. If it's no Rage Powder, the Espathra is going to go crazy in this match. So I think I should lead Espathra. Is this Espathra Lucario? Espathra Vivian is also not terrible either. I kind of like the Espathra Lucario. Yeah, I think Espathra Lucario is probably fine. I like Vivian and I like Dragapult still, because I think Dragapult back is still really important to deal with the Lopunny. So let's see if this is going to work or not. But we'll see. I do think this Espathra Lucario mode is super strong in this, especially because we know it's not a bulky Lopunny. Because one, my regular Lucario KO'd it with Aura Spear. Well, actually, it's... No. No, yeah. So, because of that, we know it's not a bulky Lopunny at all. Okay. So, that means I always KO with Lumina Crash. Lopunny Sinistra, okay. Versus Espathra and Lucario. I want to say my best play here is to protect a Spafro, go hard in a Dragapult. I don't think you hard close combat, but we'll see. I do live a close combat, so it's not like that bad if he does. I just want to punish the Sinistra with a potential combination of the Lumina Crash plus the Acrobatics. Okay. Protect the Spafro. They do go for raw close combat. Could have went for Lumina Crash. I do survive. Calm Mind. Okay. Could have been better, but I still think this isn't terrible because I can Lumina Crash the Sinistra to put in Hurricane range, and then I can Acro the Lopunny. I guess Lopunny could switch out, but that's fine. If it's Archaudon, I break Sturdy. If it's Politoed, it takes Chip. So I don't think it's too bad. They also have to worry about a double up in the Sinistra. They could be worried about like... Well, I did show I was Psychic Fangs, but that doesn't confirm anything, I think, for his side. Because I could technically double up the Sinistra and he'd be in a bad spot, so I'm kind of curious if he would even commit to that. But yeah, Spafra and Dragapult are in pretty okay spots here, I'd say. I assume you're preserving the Lopunny, though. Yeah, you do. Politoed? Okay, so you're taking in Acrobatics, which isn't terrible for me. And I do get a Lumina Crash off into Sinistra. Ah, I could have gotten a potential knockout there. Good damage to Politoed. Shadow Ball into Spafra. Okay. Does KO. Crit. I don't think that mattered. No, it shouldn't have. The Lopunny's looking really problematic. It's winnable, but it's like not great. How much is my Acro doing to Sinistra? I probably should have made a more aggressive play and doubled up the Sinistra. It's probably physically defensive Sinistra too. I can go Vivian and force a 50-50, I suppose. Yeah. Or not even a 50-50. I can just Sleep Power to Politoed and then bring out Lucario, which isn't bad for me. I think I'm going to go for that. Because I want to keep Dragapult for the Lopunny. And if it's not Sucker Punch Croak, if he brought Croak in the back again, then I'm fine with this. Also, +1 Shadow Ball doesn't KO Lucario. So I think this is my best play. How much does Flash Cannon do to -1 on this mon? Flash Cannon can KO the Sinistra since I have suspicion for it not to be max def. I feel like you always attack with Sinistra and Politoed, but let's see. Okay. Oh, that's really good for me because I get a free Sleep Powder off into Toad. Oh, that's amazing for me. Especially depends on the Politoed set, but if it's like really physically defensive, then my Aura Spear will KO if we get the high roll. Oh, that's amazing. Because Hurricane now threatens to KO on the Sinistra. Because it's -1 Spadef. So we go for Hurricane, we can't miss, and we go for an Aura Spear into the Politoed. Okay, really good turn. Really good turn. If we get a double knockout, we're in a really good spot. Because I think the Croak probably doesn't have Feint, but maybe doesn't have Poison Jab? If it has Feint, we're in trouble. But if it's not, we're in really good shape, I'd say. We did 60 to the Politoed last time, so let's see. It looks like a roll. Hurricane KOs this. If we get a 2-turn sleep, the game's in a really commanding spot. We do get rid of Sinistra. Beautiful. And here's an Aura Spear. Yeah, okay. Polytoad's in range though. Nice. Get the 2-turn sleep, huge. Lopunny coming in, makes sense. If Aura Spear... Trying to think of the best play here. I think it's just double protect. It's kind of a call against a Croak, I think. Because, I mean, there is triple Axle on deck. Actually, what I think I do is I vacuum wave the Lopunny. Okay, they protect the Lopunny. Who did they target? Did they target the Vivian? Is this Muddy Water? Oh boy. So it has protect on the Lopunny. I was going for vacuum wave because I felt like I could sack Lucario, bring in Dragapult, and then go for like Acrobatics, Hurricane, cleanup. Okay, that works for me. Okay. Because I can Rage Powder and I can act or a Spear. Yeah. It's gonna come down to the Toxicroak. Did we ever reveal Fake Out? We revealed Throat Chop, we revealed Protect, and we revealed Close Combat. I mean, this should always be Triple Axle. I think this is Triple Axle Weather Ball. I do live Weather Ball. Unless it's Mystic Water, maybe. But no, I should live. Yeah, Triple Axle. Maybe I could have Hurricaned in case they miss. But okay, they do hit. This is such a close end game. I don't have Protect on Pole Eater, so I have to do a guessing game. Although, if this is Archaladon back, really well played. I think I lose if it's Archaladon back. It is Weather Ball. I should live. Yep. Rain stops, so he doesn't have access to Weather Ball is also huge. We go into Pult. It is Toxicroak, okay. I don't know if they have Fake Outs. I mean, my best play is to pounce the Croak here and vacuumate the Politoed, I think. It's kind of a call on like who's the target. I could double up a Croak or I could double up Toad. It's literally just as a call on who he protects, because if he protects and I get the target wrong, I just lose. Gonna go for the Toad. Why did I vacuum wave? I should have Aura Speared. He did protect, so I probably lose here. I need to double up the Croak. Ah! Oh, if I had Dragon Darts now, this would have probably been GG. I regret running Dragon Tail for the Trick Room. Yeah, that's GG. Well played to Aaron. Oh, I feel like I had a lot of good RNG happen in this game too. I should have targeted, I guess, a Politoed. I don't think targeting Politoed's ever to play there. Because I feel like I need the damage into Lopunny, because Acrobatics unfortunately is a roll into the Lopunny. Acro or Politoed? I aggro to Politoed because, like, I guess I guarantee differential in case he wants to get cute and just protect for no reason. But yeah, aggro into Politoed takes the KO, but he will KO me with Throat Chop. Well played to Aaron. I think like I had good prep. I think it was just I needed to make a few better plays here. I definitely did need to make a few better plays, especially with the calls. I was hoping Lopunny didn't have Protect, because if the Lopunny didn't have Protect, I was hoping that I would get the KO into Lopunny, but GG's. And that is week 5. GG's to Aaron. I really did enjoy that set. I really did. Of course, it would have been better if we were able to win, so we were still in it. But yeah, Jubilife Piplups are knocked out from playoffs, which means this is going to be the first VGC Draft League that we do not make playoffs. But an enjoyable set, and if there's anyone to knock me out, I think Aaron makes the most sense because we did knock him out of Season 1 of the Wolfey Draft League of playoffs. So I think it was going to be revenge coming down the line sometime soon. However, I do think I could have probably played a little bit better. I think game 2, I probably should have hurricaned the Sinistra. I was worried about like priority back then with Sucker Punch, but now that I think about it, Poison Jab doesn't put me in a faint range with Vivian as long as I avoid the poison, which I probably had to in order to be able to win that one. And then if there's Sucker Punch, I could just Sleep Powder and go for the 2-turn sleep. So realistically, that was always going to be the option there. So yeah, now that I think about it, I should definitely Hurricane the Sinistra first and then went for the Toxicroak. I was way too obsessed about trying to get the information game, but it made no sense because I think it was just better to just go for the Sinistra at that point. And then game 3 as well was maybe instead of just going for the simple Rage Powder, like it's more likely he goes for triple Axle, and I think it might be okay for my Mega Lucario to go down at that point realistically, because in Risk It, I could have went for Hurricane into the Politoed slot. I could have went for the Aura Spear and the Lopunny, and if we caught that Protect, it could have maybe swung some things, although I do think it was just going to come down to an endgame call. I also could have kept Dragon Darts on the Dragapult. I changed it to Dragon Tail because I did think that the Trick Room was something I really wanted to deny if possible. I did have already quite a few good ways of denying Trick Room in general, but maybe I went a bit too obsessive there. And the chip damage was going to be nice because Dragon Arts and the Acrobatics was KOing the Lopunny, which was something I did think about like having that option earlier, which, you know, it would have been better there. So that is on me. I think RNG wise, I think overall it wasn't like too bad because game 1, obviously there's a Bright Powder foul play, but I don't think it really mattered too much other than differential because Serena was going to survive the foul play with ease. Maybe he gets to learn that I'm like not special defense on the Serena, or basically he doesn't get to find out I'm special defense with Serena, so maybe that could change like a few things over there. And yeah, but otherwise I don't think the game changes too much because of the plays I think are straightforward. Game 2, he did miss the triple axle and Vivian. I think it was going to be not the greatest spot for me. It was definitely winnable, but definitely was really rough for Aaron to start off for sure. Again, I do think it's winnable, but then, you know, it comes down to like Vivian, I think going for the Sleep Powder. Sure, maybe I could double up the Toxicroak, but I think Sleep Powder, 97% chance. Like I'm always going to go for like that high odds, I think, instead of going for like other things. And also I got the crit into the Sinistra to put me in that position. So yeah, that one I think was deserved. And in game 3, it's like, I think it was only really just the Sleep Powder on the Politoed. I think that was the only big one really, but of course that's just like how Sleep Powder goes. So yeah, I don't feel too bad about that one. Like again, I think I could have just played a bit better. I think Aaron played pretty well, and yeah, I do think that maybe I could have had a few slight changes to the team and that would have worked out pretty nicely, but I think my team was pretty solid for this week. So unfortunately, Jubilife Piplups again are going to be missing playoffs, which is unfortunate, and we won't be able to reclaim the title, but we will still be trying to win the last 2 weeks. I apologize to everyone who was rooting for the Jubilife Piplups, but I will be making sure that the last 2 weeks are at least great sets that I will be prepping hard for. So make sure you stay tuned for those, and yeah, next time, week 6 of the Wolfey Draft League Season 2.